All right, ladies and gents, so the first thing I'm going to be starting off with is the Milk Hydrating Cooling Stick. I'm in love with this thing. It's the perfect base to start off your makeup. It's hydrating, it's oil-free, doesn't cause any breakouts, and adds a beautiful glow. So I'm just going to then prime my face with the Kat Von D primer. Love this stuff as well. I like to use it in the winter because it's a little bit more hydrating. I also find that it works really well with a lot of different formulations because it is water-based, and I really like the glow it gives my skin. Do a little dance. Alright, so on to foundation. I'm going to be flipping you off, apparently, while I take my Alienist highlighting drops and mix it into my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. And I'm going to be taking a Real Techniques buffing brush and just working that over the skin. I love this combination. Again, I'm kind of going for a more glowy look, as I'm sure you can tell. But I just really like how much light and just how much luminosity this adds to the face, and it really doesn't make your face look cakey at all. Alright, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some Target highlighting with the Too Cool for School Pearl Bay Invasion. I don't know if that's just kind of some kind of sick joke or something, but Pearl Bay Invasion, and then you see the little packaging and it's got Pearl Harbor and the little ships. Anyways, someone thought they were funny, but I'm going to be going in with that. Next, I'm going to be concealing my under eyes with, yes, I know, you're probably sick of seeing this, Shape Tape. Everybody's using it, everybody's loving it, but it is a fantastic concealer. I'm going to be mixing Fair Beige and Fair, just to kind of get a nice, a nice mix. Just going to be dotting that in the under eyes. Guys, you really don't need a lot of this product. You don't need to do the gigantic triangle of cake underneath your eyes. This product is super pigmented and blends out beautifully. You really don't need a lot of product. It'll probably just cake up anyways, but yeah, less is more with this product. Alrighty, so I'm going to be setting everything down with the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder in the color Translucent. I've been loving this powder lately, although I'm finding that it looks a little bit gray on camera. I'm finding there's a little bit of flashback happening here. I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of go from normal color to gray. So perhaps I won't use this for filming again, but I'd love to use this every single day. Okay, time for the eyes. Step 1, music. So I'm going to be doing a super easy smoky eye using the Kat Von D Smoke Eyeshadow Quad. Going into the lightest color, I'm going to be laying that down as a base using my Furless blending brush. And just going to be kind of setting the area, absorbing any oils. If you want to use a primer or a paint pot or a cream shadow, this is the time to do it, and then you're going to lock it all in with that lightest color. Feel free to use a color that matches your skin tone. This one just happens to match mine, so I use it. Alright, so the next color I'm going to be going into is the giant color closer to the left-hand side that I'm going to be using as my transition shade. So I'm going to be going into that same Furless blending brush, and I'm just going to be running that through the crease. Notice how I'm holding the palette and a mirror in my hand when the palette has a mirror on it. I'm sorry. Sometimes there's just no logic to my actions. Anyways, just keep blending that. You just want to really buff it out, and just that way you can lay down your base for a nice gradient. Alrighty, so then I'm going to be going in with my Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to be taking the smoky gray color, and I'm going to be taking that all over the lid and blending it up into that transition shade that we applied into the crease. I've never actually used this kind of grayish color in the smoke quad, so I really wanted to make it a focal point of my smoky eye, and instead of going for a classic black smoky eye, I wanted to do something a little bit more modern, something gray. Actually, I really like how this gray looks. I honestly didn't think I was going to like the kind of bluish gray with my complexion and with my eye color, but in the end it actually ends up looking really, really nice. The only thing about using grays is if you have a deeper complexion, it will look ashy. You can just substitute the gray for a darker color that's not going to pull ashy on your skin. So I apologize if this specific palette is not necessarily person of color friendly. Again, I apologize. You could just substitute the darker color. Okay, this part's yucky, so I'm just going to show as much as I need to show. This is like the sexiest part of the video, applying the eyeshadow underneath the eye. Anyways, yep, that's ugly. Moving on. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take my MAC 217 into the black eyeshadow of the palette, and I'm going to really start defining that crease and making everything look super smoky. This is the time where if you want to make a cut crease, you can make a cut crease. If you want to just focus more on the color like I'm doing, just kind of on the outer V and then smoking it out into the crease and onto the lid, you can do that as well. I really like this because it's very flattering on most eye shapes. If you have hooded eyes or if you have larger lids, I think this is really going to draw a lot of attention to the center of the eye. It's also going to help if you want to make your eyes look a little bit more winged out, kind of more like a cat eye look. So as you can see, I'm starting out by applying most of the pigment onto the outer V and then working on blending and diffusing that color all the way through to the crease, focusing again, really depositing that saturation of that color onto the outer V while I sing. And then just softening the edges, making sure it's a nice gradient. Blending, blending, blending. All right, now I'm just joining the under eye shadow and the outer corner with a little bit of that black, just so that everything looks uniform and connects. All right, so now for the fun part, I'm going to be taking my Kat Von D Alchemist palette, and I'm going to be going into the colors Ultraviolet and Sapphire, and I'm going to be taking just a little pencil brush, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. Now this step is completely optional. I just really wanted to be honest, I just really wanted to use my Alchemist palette. I have to find an excuse every day to use that on some part of my face. And I thought that, since we're going for a cooler toned look, the blue reflex would suit the overall color of the look. But again, feel free to omit this step if you don't want something as bold. Alright, so I did my brows off camera, and now I'm going to go into the winged liner, and for that I'm going to be using, yes I know, I'm incredibly boring, I'm going to be using the one and only Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This is my holy grail eyeliner. It just, I don't know how I'd wing without this liner. Me and this liner, we have a thing, and it's a good thing, and if it ain't broken, you don't need to fix it. So yeah, just rocking that wing. By the way, if you want a tutorial on how I fill in my eyebrows as they're a little bit more bushy now, then just let me know and I can do an in-depth tutorial on that for you, or I can do a step-by-step pictorial on Instagram. So just winging that out, and to be completely honest, I am having a bomb-ass wing liner day. This wing liner, I know people are going to be like, oh god, how do you do that so fast? The amount of times I've done wing liner and the amount of times that I've completely and totally fucked it up, it's some days Some days it just goes well, some days it just doesn't go well. Today I was having a good liner day and we just went whoop-a-bam. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is mascara, because we all need a tutorial on how to apply mascara, right? So I'm going to keep this short and I'm going to keep this sweet. I'm going to be applying the volumizing end of the Estee Lauder double-ended mascara. And then off camera, I applied the lift side, which is the volumizing end, to the lower lashes. Alright, time to highlight and contour. I'm going to be taking my Shade and Light contour palette and using the lightest of the 3 contour shades. I'm going to be taking the Shade and Light dual-ended contour brush, and I'm just going to be carving out dem cheekbones. Now I'm going to be going in with the darkest color. I know, crazy, right? And I'm going to be really defining that contour, and I'm really going to be darkening it. Going back into the lightest color as well, I'm going to be cutting that jawline because I don't really have a jawline. Gotta work what I've got. Anyways, moving on. So I'm going to be taking the opposite end of that Shade and Light double-ended contour brush and going in with the lightest color powder, and I'm just going to be defining my contour, just kind of cutting along the bottom just ever so slightly just to sharpen up that edge. As well, I like to take a little bit of that same colored powder and just kind of go around the areas where my foundation tends to separate. So just kind of around the nose and the nostril area. And now it's time for the glow. I'm going to be using my BECCA highlighter. It's the limited edition Rose Quartz shade. I'm just feeling myself right now applying my highlighter. Glow has just been my obsession lately, and you can't have a fierce-ass contour without a fierce-ass highlight. Alright, so I applied some falsies off camera, as I'm sure you saw, and now I'm going to be going into my lip color. I'm going to be using Witches by Kat Von D, and unfortunately, I used my Witches so much that it is no longer pigmented anymore because I seem to be scraping the last little bits out of the tube. I apologize for that. I'm going to try and skip through where I have to keep layering it because I'm literally running out of product. Yeah, I'm going to be using this as the base color for the lip art that I'm going to be doing. Now again, if you want to go in with a natural lip color, something a little bit more nude, really you could use any cool toned color with this look. I just decided to be extra and apply black. So the next thing I'm going to be going in with is this beautiful Black Moon Cosmetics. This is actually a liquid eyeshadow, but they make for the most beautiful lip toppers. I am obsessed with all of these shades. It's turned out so nicely, and it just works for everything. And then again, going in with my Kat Von D Alchemist palette, I'm patting the color Sapphire right on top, just kind of in the center points of my lips, doing a little bit of highlighting there just to make my lips look a little bit more plump and bring out a little bit more blue instead of the teal. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the finished look. I hope you liked it, and I will see you on the next one. Alright, thanks guys. Bye!